Let's analyze what the stock market did today, Monday, February 28, 2022. This is a daily chart of the S&P 500, minus 10 points for the day. Today was a very positive day. Ugly open, nice finish. Gap down, dipped, couldn't get below the previous day's low, and it was able to finish close above the 5-day and the 10-day moving average. That was very positive action. Very nice price patterns if you look at intraday charts. Just for the record, I am long the S&P 500 via the ETF UPRO. I bought about half of my normal precise position. I bought during extended hours after the market closed. I have been waiting for a retracement, but I don't see that happening. Instead, it looks like it just wants to spend time versus points. So I decided to initiate a position. Levels that I'll be watching tomorrow will definitely be Friday's low, which is under the 5-day moving average, dips below that, and it will look bearish. This is where I have my stop loss underneath that level, which is roughly below 100 points from today's close. If for some reason we gap down more than 100 points tomorrow, my order will immediately execute and I will get stopped out. To the upside, levels that I see that might be very strong resistance will be this level up here, this red zone, the trading level between 44.30 and 44.60. That's where you have these two pivot points, the 20 and the 200-day moving average. I will consider adding to my position if we spend more time in here around this area and then push above this level. If we end up going higher, I will just manage my position and I will pay close attention to see how it behaves once it approaches this level up here. That will determine either to liquidate my position or add to my position about the 200-day moving average. So far, it looks like it wants to go higher. So the path of least resistance, I think it will visit this level before it visits this level. But of course, we'll play session by session. So now take a look at the NASDAQ 100, same as the S&P 500. It was a very strong bullish day. Was able to close still above the 10-day moving average. For the record, I am long the NASDAQ 100 via the ETF TQQQ. My stop loss is below Friday's low. That means you would have to dip below these layers of support, the 10, the 5, and all these pivot points here. Today, same pivot point that we've been looking at, it acted as very strong support. Couldn't dip below that, 14,000. For tomorrow, levels that I'll be watching will be today's low, Friday's low. To the upside, I see some strong resistance around 14,400. That's this pivot point and the 20-day moving average. If in the next couple of sessions we're able to push above that, that will be very bullish. We dip below Friday's low, that would be bearish, as we would be again below all moving averages. But so far, it looks very strong, and it looks like it wants to go higher from here. Now take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Today was a neutral day. It's still trading between the high and the low of the previous session, which was on Friday. It's still closing above the 5-day moving average, but below the declining 10-day moving average. So this one, the path of least resistance, it still looks like it's really not to the upside. The only positive thing is just the momentum, but it looks like it's slowing down. But this one still looks good as long as it can stay above Friday's low, which was roughly 33,250. If it consolidates in here for the next day or two and then push higher, then of course I will be very bullish. Let's now take a look at the Philly Semiconductor Index. This one, neutral for the day, trading roughly between Friday's high and the low. It's called an inside day, if you want to use that term. It is still below the 200 and 20-day moving average, but still above the 10 and the 5-day moving average. This one, as I mentioned in my previous video, I wanted to buy it if it could push and trade above the 200-day moving average. Today, you found resistance there. If tomorrow we open below that level, say here, and then push higher, I will be looking for an entry level about that point. If, however, we gap above that, then that will make my entry tricky, and I would have to look at real time price patterns and see if I can find an entry point. But this one is looking very nice, consolidating underneath this very strong resistance, 3450, the 200-day and the 20-day moving average. I really like this setup. I hope we can trade through that pivot point and not just gap above that. Now, small caps, Russell 2000 IWM ETF. This one, I was watching it. I mentioned in the previous video that ideally, I wanted to just for it to consolidate and then push above this level. Well, that didn't happen. Up 3 days in a row. Third day, pushing above that level. The setup is not the same, so I did not buy it. However, it still looks very bullish. Was able to make another close higher for the third day in a row. So it is very bullish and trading way above the 20-day moving average, the 5 and the 10, which is something that the other indices have not been able to do so far. There's no doubt this one wants to go higher. And I just had to add one stock to this video. One that I'm watching very closely is Amazon. I like this pattern. Tomorrow levels that I'll be watching, it's here. Friday's low and today's high. If we push above this level, I will be looking for an entry point to the long side, as it will confirm this pattern that it will be pushing, that will break out above the 10 and the 20-day moving average. Let's take a look at the 60-minute chart. This is the 60-minute chart of Amazon. These are the levels that I just mentioned on the daily. Friday's low, around 20, it's not really Friday's low, right below Friday's low, 29.75 for support. The breakout will be, the buy signal will be once it trades above 30, say 30.90, above this level. I will be watching it very closely. Pushes above that, I'll be looking for an entry point, as it would confirm a push, or I would say a breakout above the 20-day moving average, which is this pink line here. At that point, like I said, it will be above the 5, the 20, and the 10, which is not shown here, but that would be very bullish. And a target, not really a target, but another big resistance will be the 50-day moving average. However, I'll deal with it once it gets there. I will monitor its behavior around that 50-day moving average. If I see a pause, then I will consider selling there. If, however, pushes above that, then of course it will give me no reason to sell. And then I might even consider adding to my position up there. Thanks for stopping by, and remember to always have a plan for the following day.